That day, little Lily came home from school to a strangely quiet house. There was no call from her dad, no familiar arms waiting for her. A soft cough from the bedroom made Lily's little heart tighten. She rushed in, and the sight of her big dad lying weakly on the bed filled her eyes with worry. The first patient of Dr. Lily's shift had appeared. Without a moment's hesitation, the at-home clinic began its operation. Lily quickly ran to the small yellow mini fridge, stood on her tiptoes to get the thermometer, and returned to the bed. As careful and professional as a real doctor, she placed the thermometer on her dad's forehead. The number that appeared made Lily's eyes widen. 39 degrees!
Oh my gosh!
The patient had a very high fever. The urgent task now was to find the right medicine. Lily ran to the medicine cabinet. But faced with two choices, a bottle of pills and a blister pack, her panic left her confused. Her hurried love clouded her judgment.
Oh.
In the end, Lily chose the bottle, believing it was the best medicine for her dad. Lily diligently brought water for her dad to drink with the medicine. Her dad smiled and patted his little daughter's head, completely unaware of the terrible mistake in Dr. Lily's prescription.
Thì bạn có thể bài uống nha. Đây đây ha. Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Được chưa? Lo lắng quá hả? Sao ha? Được chưa? Đây uống sữa, sữa uống ha. Nhé. Được không Ly?
Just a few minutes later, a sharp stomach ache struck him.
Đi ra đây nhé.
And he rushed to the bathroom.
Xin tí nhé.
In that moment, Lily froze. She realized it then. In her haste, she had given the most important patient in her life the wrong medicine.
Oh my gosh!
Regret washed over the little doctor. But instead of crying, Lily decided she had to make it right herself. She ran to her secret box and gathered all the gold coins she had been saving. A brave journey of redemption began.
bữa nay ghé cửa hàng mua cái gì Ly? Ly, tiền Ly đâu? Tiền Ly đâu?
At the grocery store, delicious sponge cakes called out to her.
Thì muốn lấy bánh này à?
But the image of her sick dad at home was stronger than any temptation.
À, bố bạn bị sốt rồi Ly. Sốt thì có cái này nha. Miếng này hạ
Dr.
sốt nha,
Lily
Ly.
knew what she needed. She used all her money to buy the most effective weapon against a fever, a cooling gel patch. With her treasure in hand, Lily ran straight home.
Lấy thuốc khác cho ba à Ly? Hả? Gì đấy? À, đúng rồi con. Cảm ơn nha.
She gently and carefully placed the patch on her dad's hot forehead. Her small hand tenderly caressed him, conveying all her gentleness and remorse.
Cảm ơn nha.
The coolness from the patch seemed to not only soothe her dad's fever, but also calm Lily's own anxious soul. Her dad opened his eyes and saw his little daughter watching over him. There was no blame in his gaze, only warmth and pride. He knew that the best medicine he had just received wasn't the cooling patch, but the boundless love of his little doctor. He signaled for Lily to reward herself with a carton of milk. Lily obeyed. As the sweet milk flowed, she felt an immense sense of relief. Dr. Lily's shift had ended successfully. Her big patient would be all right, because he would always have the most dedicated doctor in the world by his side. After taking care of her dad, Lily sat in front of the computer. The cheerful melodies playing from it made her spirit sing. Her eyes suddenly stopped on the corner of the room where her little ukulele lay quietly. An idea sparked in the little singer's mind. That's it! Music can help Dad too! Without hesitation, Lily ran into her room. A few minutes later, she emerged in a beautiful new dress. Wearing her familiar straw hat and holding her beloved ukulele. With a burning determination, Lily skipped out of the house to begin her very first tour.
Oh, yeah.
Her first stop was under a shady tree on a busy village path. Lily placed her straw hat on the ground to serve as a tip jar for a true street performer. The first notes rang out, gentle and clear. But in response, she received only indifference from the hurried passersby who didn't even glance her way.
Hi.
Not discouraged, Lily decided to change her tune. She switched to a more lively, upbeat melody. Her small body danced as she sang her heart out, trying to liven up the atmosphere.
Mày đã mất ngủ 3-4 hôm nay. Mãi trưa nắng mới chợp mắt được một tí mà.
But ironically, her enthusiasm was met with annoyed complaints. It's too loud. Let people take a nap. The peak of her disappointment came when tomatoes were thrown at her, staining her pretty dress. Tears welled up in her eyes. The little singer was panicked and hurt. She just wanted to earn a little money to buy a cake to help her dad. Why were people treating her this way? Lily quickly grabbed her hat, hugged her ukulele, and ran away from her first tear-stained stage. But the flame of passion within Lily was not easily extinguished. She stopped at another street corner, a more peaceful place. Gathering all her courage, she once again let her music and voice be heard. This time, her sweet melodic tune found kindred spirits. Her first audience member was a schoolgirl who stopped, her round eyes watching intently.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi.
Wow.
Then came a young man, and then an elderly person. Gradually, a small circle of spectators formed around Lily. They clapped, smiled, and offered her compliments. That's wonderful, dear. The little girl sings so beautifully.
Thank you.
Coins began to drop into her straw hat. Lily's heart felt warm again. The support from everyone was the most precious gift. When her hat was reasonably full, Lily happily ended her performance. She bowed to her audience and headed home with a joyful heart. On the way, Lily saw an old man working diligently on the sidewalk, covered in sweat. Looking at the delicious cake a spectator had just given her, without a second thought, Lily walked over and offered it to him. Even though it was a reward she had worked very hard for, the joy of sharing was so much greater. Lily returned home, her heart soaring. Today, the little singer had not only earned money with her own talent, but had also done a good deed. The stage might have had tears, but in the end, music had brought her joy and growth. One day, Lily saw her dad fumbling with a few small coins in his pocket, his face etched with worry.
Này không đủ tiền để mua đâu.
A daughter's intuition told her that her dad was having money troubles. Without a word, Lily quietly went to her room, a grand plan forming in her young mind. She remembered the times she had gone with her dad to pick chayote and sell it at the market. That's right. I can be a businesswoman too, she thought. A bold decision was made. Lily opened her wardrobe, her eyes scanning over the pretty outfits that had become a little too small. Gently and carefully, she folded each shirt and dress into a large basket. These weren't just old clothes. They were memories. But she knew that helping her dad now was more important. To make her store look more professional, Lily found an old piece of cardboard and neatly wrote the words "Sale 50% in large, clear letters. She placed the sign in the basket, and with that, her secret business project was officially launched. Lily tiptoed out of the house with her basket of goods, trying not to let her dad notice. Wandering along the familiar village path, Lily found a busy spot to set up her stall. She placed the basket down, propped up the sign where it was most visible, and called out to people in a clear voice.
Ly ơi, ra ăn sáng này con. Đi đâu thế? Ly ơi, Ly. Ly ơi, đi đâu ạ?
Before long, a customer stopped. It was a young man who smiled kindly when he saw the little owner so seriously conducting her business. He looked through each item carefully. "Your clothes are still so new and beautiful," he praised. Perhaps moved by Lily's cleverness and devotion, he made a decision. "I'll buy all of this. Is $10 okay?" Lily's eyes lit up. $10. That was much more than she could have imagined. She happily agreed, took the money from the kind customer, and thanked him politely. Her first venture was a success beyond her wildest dreams. Lily hugged the money she had earned and ran straight home. As she reached the door, she could smell delicious food. Her dad had finished cooking lunch and was waiting for her.
Dad.
"Where did you get this money?" her dad asked in surprise as Lily held out the bill. As his little daughter chattered on, telling him the whole story, from seeing his worry to the idea of selling her old clothes and the lucky sale, her dad couldn't hold back his tears. He pulled his little girl into a tight hug. In her dad's arms, Lily felt his emotion, his gratitude, and even a little bit of guilt. He thanked her for always thinking of him and apologized for letting her carry such worries. "I promise, I'll buy you lots of new, beautiful clothes very soon," he said, his voice choked with emotion.
Thôi ba làm đồ ăn sẵn cho Ly rồi nhé, được chưa? Bây giờ ra ăn đồ ăn thôi ha, được chưa con? Đi kìa. Đấy, đi ăn này.
That day, as Lily ate the meal her dad had cooked, her heart was filled with a sense of peace and happiness. The food tasted better than ever because she knew she had just done something truly great. She had helped the man she loved most in the world. The story begins with the image of Lily in a tidy house outfit, completely absorbed in her work. With a cloth in her hand, she diligently wiped the wooden floor over and over. Each of her movements was decisive and careful, showing an incredible industriousness. Occasionally, she would look at her dad, then return to her unfinished cleaning. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, her dad was preparing dinner. He was holding a large knife, carefully chopping sweet potatoes on a wooden cutting board. Lily stood nearby, curiously watching him work. But in a moment of distraction, the sharp knife accidentally cut his hand. He cried out in pain, his face contorting. Lily immediately froze. Her face showed clear shock and horror as she rushed to her dad's side, her eyes wide as she stared at the wound.
Ai da, đau quá lìa. Trời ơi, không may thôi.
Lily remembered a time when she had a similar injury. Without a moment of panic, her head nurse instincts took over. She immediately turned and ran. The next image shows her quickly grabbing a white first aid kit from a shelf. Lily heaved the heavy kit over to her dad.
Dad.
Ủa, cái gì Ly? Trời, biết mang cho anh luôn hả? Đây, mở ra đi con. Đây.
She opened it. Inside were all the necessary medical supplies.
Hả? Trời ơi, biết luôn. Cái này là thuốc bôi nè, khử trùng nhá. Thấy chưa Ly? Thuốc này rồi để ba lấy nhá. Để ba lấy cho. Rồi để ba lấy cái băng gạc nhá. Ba lấy băng gạc nhá. Đây ha. Lấy một cái băng gạc nhá.
Her tiny hands carefully took out a long roll of gauze. The camera focused on Lily's meticulous preparation of the supplies, showing a calmness and professionalism far beyond her years.
Đau lắm nha, đau lắm. Rồi không sao hết rồi.
After finishing the first aid for her dad, Lily's earlier composure gave way to tears. She cried for her dad's injury.
Bạn sao nhé, đi ngoan nhé.
After the temporary first aid, the work in the kitchen had to continue. Her dad, with his finger carefully bandaged, looked at head nurse Lily, who still had a worried look on her face. To reassure his little daughter, he smiled, gently patting her head and thinking up a special task. Her dad returned to cooking, and
Bữa nào
Lily
thứ ba
became
hả?
an able
Đây,
kitchen
bà làm Lily
assistant.
xem nhá, này.
Lily helped her
Này,
dad
cắt này,
put all
cắt
the
này,
cut
đây,
sweet
đây.
potatoes into a
Đây.
large basket,
Đây,
then helped him
đúng
add
rồi.
water to the pot to cook them.
Đúng rồi. Đó. Đó, bỏ đây đi con, bỏ đây đi con. Đây, thật được tay nhá, tay số 3 đấy, thấy chưa? Đúng rồi. Đúng rồi, đúng rồi. Đúng rồi, giỏi lắm, đúng rồi. Con bỏ vào đây đi, bỏ vào đây đi con. Đây này, bỏ vào đây. Rồi, đúng rồi, đây nhé, bỏ xuống đi con. Đúng rồi, bỏ xuống đi con. Bỏ đi con. Đúng rồi, đây nữa. Đây nữa, đây nữa. Rồi, bỏ đi con. Rồi, giỏi lắm. Lily. Nè. Nè Lily. Qua đây Lily ơi, qua đây. Đây Lily. Bỏ vào đầu này, bỏ vào đây này. Đúng rồi, đây nữa. Đây không? Đúng rồi, bỏ đây. Đúng rồi, đây nữa. Đây này. Đây. Đây này. Đây nữa không? Đây nữa. Giỏi. Đi nước đi con, đi nước đi. Mang qua đây. Đúng rồi, mang qua đây bỏ. Bỏ vô. Đây nha. Rồi, đi nữa ha, đi nữa ha. Đi đẩy đắp lại đi, đẩy đắp lại. Nước hả, nước hả? Khát nước hả? Được chưa? Này, cầm lấy này. Rồi, bỏ đây con, bỏ đây. Trời. Rồi, Lily, đẩy bung lại con. Nè. Thôi chờ tí nhé. Để con lau cái nhà tí nhé. Không sao đây nhé, không sao đâu ha. Thôi rồi đi ra đây nào. Ngồi đi ha. Nè, con lau cái ba đi, lau đi. Con lau đây, này, lau cái ba đi, đúng rồi. Lau đây này. Lau đây nữa, đúng rồi kia. Wow. Rồi đi này. Trời ơi, ngồi đây con, ngồi đây con. Ngồi đây ha, ngồi đây nhé, ngồi đây nhé, được chưa? Để ba tí nhé. Thôi sao hết. Không sao đi nhé, không sao đâu ha. Thôi sao hết. Thôi con ngồi đây để ba lấy khoai cho Ly ăn nhé. Ngồi đây, ngồi đây, ngồi đây. Ngồi đây con. Đứng im con.
When the sweet, rich aroma of sweet potatoes filled the kitchen, the dish was ready. And the first person to taste the result was none other than sous chef Lily. Her dad picked up a hot piece of sweet potato, carefully blew on it to cool it down, and tenderly fed it to his daughter. The sweetness of the potato blended with the sweetness of their love, creating the most delicious dish in the world. The meal, prepared with worry, courage, and perfect teamwork, was finally complete.
Sao nè con? Sao mà hả?
Dad.
Không sao đâu Ly nhé. Hết rồi. Cái này hết rồi ha. Ba dán là khác hết rồi ha. Giỏi quá. Qua đây mà ôm nè. Qua đây. Đây. Đây, chào cô. Đây. Đây. Cái mày. Giỏi lắm. Nè, qua đây đây. Cảm ơn Ly nhé, bắt tay nè, giỏi, ở đây nè. Giỏi lắm, chào nè, chào. Bye. Chào. Bye.
The video opens with a familiar image of Lily's house, but one that also makes the viewer quite anxious. The dad returns home, perhaps tired after a session of gardening. But as soon as the door opens, his fatigue is immediately replaced by a profound shock. Before him is a horrifying scene. The usually pristine white tile floor is now splattered with dark, winding red streaks, stretching from the living room deep into the house. Anxiety quickly turns to panic when he realizes the little monkey, Lily, is nowhere to be seen. The swing where she usually sits and plays is now starkly empty. The dad's heart sinks. He dashes around like the wind, turning over every nook and cranny to search for her. He calls Lily's name in desperation, his voice cracking with fear. The bedroom, nothing. The bathroom, also nothing. In a moment of despair, he even checks inside the washing machine. Just as all hope seems lost, the dad's frantic gaze finally finds her. Lily is nestled soundly asleep, curled up like a small ball on the floor, tucked between two chairs in a hidden corner of the house. And then he sees the evidence beside her, a piece of red-fleshed dragon fruit.
Con làm đổ đây đúng không?
Through Lily's lens, the story is recounted with great innocence. While her dad was away, hunger pangs urged her to the refrigerator. Seeing the bright red dragon fruit, Lily decided to handle it herself. But the dragon fruit was both large and heavy, a complete mismatch for Lily's tiny arms. With her inherent clumsiness, while fumbling with her treasure, she slipped. With every step she took, the red dragon fruit pulp scattered onto the floor, creating a colorful crime scene. All his worries and fears vanish in an instant. He breathes a sigh of relief, as if a 1,000-pound weight has been lifted. The culprit behind the scary red stains was none other than his own clumsy little daughter. after having her fill, sleepiness began to set in. But today, Lily suddenly wanted a change of scenery, not wanting to sleep in her usual spots. She decided to choose a new space, a cozy and hidden corner of the house, to fall into a deep sleep.
Áo bẩn hết rồi nè.
After understanding the full story, the dad doesn't utter a single word of scolding. Instead, he looks at Lily with an affectionate gaze and a relieved smile. Love had triumphed over the mess. He decides to clean up the aftermath with his little daughter. The two of them, one big and one small, roll up their sleeves and get to work.
Người bẩn không? Sợ chưa? Ly cũng sợ đúng không? Tao sợ chứ. Nè. Đó, con lau của con đi nhá. Đây.
Lily, after causing the mistake, appears incredibly enthusiastic and responsible. She demonstrates very professional cleaning skills. She uses her whole body to press down on the cloth, using all her might to wipe away every stain, determined to restore the floor's shiny cleanliness. Watching this, the dad can't help but chuckle at his daughter's adorable seriousness. After the floor is clean, the grooming session begins.
Bây giờ bà lấy áo mới cho con nhá. Nè, áo sạch nè, thấy không? Rồi, con cầm lấy. Để bà lau tay cho con nhá. Đây đi nhá. Đúng rồi.
The dad gently uses a damp cloth to wipe away the dragon fruit stains still lingering on Lily's face, tiny hands, and feet.
Đây nữa. Rồi.
Finally, she is dressed in a brand new, fragrant set of clothes, officially closing the chapter on her adventure with the dragon fruit.
Thích nha, thích nha. Xanh đẹp nha. Đúng rồi, nhấc tay ra nhé. Đúng rồi. Bạn đưa tay ly vô rồi, đi đẩy tay ra chưa? Đó, đi đẩy tay ra đi, đẩy tay này ra đi. Này. Đó, thấy không? Thấy không?
The next morning, when the school bell rings, signaling the end of classes, Lily, with a cute little backpack on, eagerly returns home. She imagines her dad standing at the door to welcome her with a warm smile. But reality is harsh. Before Lily is the main door, shut tight. She calls out Dad, loudly, her clear voice echoing in the quiet space. But the only response is a heart-wrenching silence. Perhaps because he was too busy with work, her dad had forgotten it was time to pick up his little daughter.
Dad!
Undeterred, Lily fumbles with the door, trying to open it with her small strength. But the door remains stubbornly shut, as solid as a fortress wall. After a moment of helplessness, an idea flashes in her mind. Lily quickly runs around to the back of the house, her clever eyes scanning the area to survey the terrain. Her gaze lands on a coil of rope dangling nearby. Without a moment's hesitation, Lily gathers all her strength and throws one end of the rope up into the open space of a side window. The throw is astonishingly accurate. With her agility and courage, she grabs onto the rope, using both her hands and feet to climb up and slowly get inside the house. Once inside, Lily calls for her dad again, but there's still no answer.
Dad!
Her stomach starts to grumble with hunger. Lily runs to the kitchen, opening the rice cooker with the hope of finding something to eat. But inside, it's empty. Not a single grain of rice left, only a few flies buzzing around. It was a pitiful sight. After a moment of disappointment, Lily suddenly remembers her secret fund. She quickly runs to her hiding spot, takes out a hidden bill, and using the same window she entered through, she skillfully climbs back out and runs off, beginning a new adventure to save her hungry stomach. With the precious bill in her hand, Lily begins her journey to find food to fill her growling stomach. She hums a tune as she walks, the cheerful melody seemingly intended to drown out the feeling of hunger. However, perhaps because hunger clouded her mind, or because the outside world was too vast for her small frame, Lily soon realizes she is lost. In the midst of her confusion, she stops next to a cart full of grass belonging to a farmer who was resting by the roadside. With her innate intelligence and cleverness, Lily doesn't hesitate to approach and ask for directions. In response to Lily's predicament is the farmer's gentle smile and enthusiasm. He kindly shows her the correct way to the store. Finally, the destination appears before her, a fruit shop with all sorts of fresh, colorful fruits. Without hesitation, Lily heads straight in and picks out a juicy red apple that looks incredibly delicious. She carefully pays and quickly leaves.
Beep, beep.
Finding a spot by the roadside, Lily sits down and begins to enjoy her prize. She takes a bite of the crisp apple, its sweetness seeming to spread throughout her body, chasing away the gnawing hunger. Watching Lily eat with such relish, one can see she was truly very hungry, and at that moment, the apple was the most wonderful thing in the world. When the sun is high in the sky, the dad returns home from a day at work. The house is quiet, no laughter, no sign of his little daughter waiting as she usually does. After waiting a long time for Lily to come home from school, a sense of unease begins to stir within him. Without a second's delay, he hastily grabs his motorcycle keys and rushes out onto the road. Beginning the search for his daughter, he rides through all the familiar streets, stopping by the fruit shop that the two of them often visited, hoping for a clue. The vendor confirms that Lily had stopped by to buy an apple, but she had left right after. This news is both a glimmer of hope and a source of greater anxiety, as he doesn't know where his precious daughter has gone. Under the harsh midday sun, the dad's heart feels like it's on fire. He continues to roam on his motorcycle, driving along the road from the school to their home, his eyes constantly searching. The image of his little daughter keeps flashing in his mind. His voice calling Lily echoes, lost on the deserted street. And then, on a corner of the street, in the midst of his despair, he finally finds her. Lily is sitting by the roadside, her little legs dangling, calmly enjoying her sweet, crisp apple, completely unaware of the storm raging in her dad's heart. The moment he sees his daughter is safe, all the fatigue and worry seem to vanish. Despite the hot sun and the difficult search, he doesn't utter a single word of scolding. Instead, there is only boundless relief. He gently stops his bike, walks over to her, asks after her kindly, and then takes his little princess home. The next morning, when the alarm clock rings, breaking the early morning silence, Lily immediately gets up. In contrast to her alertness, her dad is still deep in sleep, perhaps from a late night of tiring work. Lily gently shakes her dad, but he shows no sign of waking. Realizing that waking her dad is an impossible mission, the clever daughter comes up with a plan. She quietly and stealthily reaches into her dad's pocket and skillfully takes out a bill. But instead of leaving right away, she leans down and places a light kiss on his forehead as a sweet good morning before quickly climbing off the bed to start her day. This morning, Lily decides to go out on her skateboard. She nimbly climbs onto a cabinet, grabs her helmet, and puts it on carefully. After being fully geared up, Lily pulls her skateboard along and confidently heads outside. On the street, Lily showcases the skills of a professional skateboarder. She glides along swiftly, weaving skillfully, drawing everyone's attention.
Oh yeah.
Her destination is the familiar convenience store.
Hi. Tìm đâu rồi? Tìm nào? Tìm này.
There, she uses the money she just borrowed from her dad to buy breakfast.
Này, có con này. Này, có con này. Này con. Thank you.
Mission accomplished, Lily skates back home. Seeing that her dad is still not awake, she continues her wake-up efforts, going into the room to urge her sleeping dad.
Gì Ly?
The task of waking the sleeping dad proves to be a real challenge for Lily.
Dad.
Gì Ly? Ngủ mà.
After fumbling around with all sorts of methods, from shaking to urging, with her dad still not budging, Lily realizes a special master trick is needed.
Gì Ly? Gì vậy?
And then, an idea flashes in her mind.
Dad. Oh.
Lily quickly runs into the bathroom, grabs a toothbrush, and returns to the bedroom. What is she planning to do? With her intelligence, wit, and a touch of humor, Lily places the toothbrush in her dad's hand. Then gently moves it to his face and into his mouth. It turns out, Lily wants to brush her dad's teeth to help him wake up.
Oh.
Trời, đi răng cho ba luôn hả? Hả?
Faced with this unique and surprising tactic, the dad finally has to surrender to his little daughter and reluctantly wakes up.
Cảm ơn nhé. Được rồi, để vào đánh răng ha. Để vào dậy đánh răng nhé.
The dad and daughter move to the kitchen together.
Đi nhà ăn cơm đi. Đúng rồi. Đây đi. Đi vào làm cơm cho ăn. Đi. Đây, các bạn lấy trái cây đi. Lấy đi. Mang cho ba nào. Lily, ta đóng tủ lạnh lại. Đúng rồi. Ta làm Lily nhé. Cái này bỏ cái kia
The
đi.
dad starts making breakfast, while Lily nimbly helps out. She skillfully takes the fruit pieces her dad has cut and arranges them neatly on a plate.
Rồi, ta bỏ cái kia đi. Đây nữa. Bỏ xuống. Bỏ cái kia. Đấy. Bỏ đây này. Bỏ xuống đi. Cắt lại nhé. Đây cần thử đi. Em ngồi xuống. Hầm này ngọt quá. Ngồi im coi. Đi nào. Con ra ghế của mình đi, ra ghế đi. À. Đây, Lily đây.
Finally, a cozy breakfast filled with laughter is ready. Lily sits at the table and begins to enjoy the delicious meal prepared by her dad, concluding a creative and lovely morning wake-up call.
Cảm ơn Ly nhá. Con ăn đi, con ăn đi. À, ngon quá. Đọc đi nhé. Đây, chăn này. Ui xa. Để phải thôi không phải rồi. Làm đây. Chỉnh lại cái ly nhá. Đây tay này. Tay này. Không lạnh nhé. Không lạnh chưa? Rồi, được chưa? Đúng rồi.
The morning sun seeped through the cracks in the door, awakening all things. In the small room, Lily stirred slightly and opened her eyes.
Dad.
A new day had begun. But today, this time, Lily woke up with no intention of waking her dad as usual. Instead, she displayed an astonishing independence. Lily went into the bathroom by herself. She placed a small stool to reach the sink, getting her own toothpaste and brushing her teeth carefully. Every movement was decisive and proficient, from washing her face to drying it with a towel. Everything happened in silence, unlike the hustle and bustle of previous mornings. After having cleaned up neatly, Lily walked out with a determined look on her face. She went straight to the living room where her familiar treasures were. She reached for her helmet and placed it securely on her head. Next, she pulled along her small shopping cart, ready for a trip. Lily had proactively started a new day of her own, with a clear goal and plan. Her mysterious trip promised to bring surprises and excitement. Lily's journey of independence led her to a wonderful place, a lush carrot garden stretching out before her. Without a moment's hesitation, she quickly got to work harvesting. With her intelligence, Lily found a sturdy stick, turning it into a professional digging tool. She carefully used the stick to loosen the soil around each delicious carrot. The work wasn't always easy. Sometimes Lily had to face giants, carrots that were oversized for her tiny body. She had to struggle, using all her strength, leaning her whole body in to wiggle, pull, and finally yank the carrot from the ground. Sweat beaded on her forehead, but her eyes shone with the joy of victory. After a session of hard but enthusiastic work, the result was impressive. A small cart was filled to the brim with fresh, bright orange carrots. With a sense of pride, Lily eagerly pulled the cart loaded with her achievement back home. Upon arriving home, the house was quiet again, with no sign of her dad. Lily patiently sat down to wait. A short while later, the familiar sound of a motorbike echoed. Her dad had returned, and on the front of his bike, he was carrying a mysterious cardboard box.
Có cái này cho này. Nè. Ui, tí này nè. Nè, cái này làm gì Ly? Tao mua máy này về làm trái cây cho Ly này. Thấy không? Nè, đẹp không? Đi làm nhá. Rồi trèo lên này, lên đây. Lên đây. Trèo đây. Đúng rồi. Này làm mấy trái cây cho Ly nhá. Cái này làm gì Ly? À. Làm này hả Ly? Làm này hả? Rồi để mà mở cái này đã, mở cái này nhá. Mở đây.
Curiosity quickly filled the room.
Biết như thế nào hả?
The dad and daughter
Đây.
opened the box together. And
Lấy đi, lấy ra đi. Kéo ra đi. Đúng rồi, kéo ra đi. Nha.
oh,
Nè.
came a sound of surprise. It was a brand new blender.
Đó.
What a magical coincidence. Just when her dad bought a new blender, his little daughter had just brought home a cart full of
Đây là
carrots.
cái gì đây? À, đây là cái hũ đựng nước. Hũ chắc đấy. Này, hũ chắc chưa để Ly này. Thấy không? Này, đẩy đây.
There was nothing better to do. So the dad and daughter decided to inaugurate the new machine right away.
Làm Ly nhá. Ha. Mời đi chờ đi, đi chờ đi, đứng chờ đi.
Lily was very excited to help her dad. She carefully peeled each carrot and put it into the blender.
Đúng rồi, nữa đi con. Rồi, rồi nha. Nữa hả? Thôi. Thôi vậy được rồi, Rồi, bật điện nha. Này, bật điện này.
The new machine ran smoothly. And in no time, a glass of beautifully colored, smooth carrot juice was made.
Để xem nhá. Đây nữa đi con. Nữa đi. Nữa đi. Nữa đi con. Đây. Đúng rồi. Rồi bay đứng này. Đây. Này, đây. Đó, ấn đây nhá. Đây rồi. Rồi, nhấc cái đây. Đúng rồi. Thêm nhá, thêm nữa đi. Thêm nữa đi. Đúng rồi, qua đây ngồi. Đứng lên. Đó, để lại đây nha, tí xuống nha, ấn này xuống này. Ấn cái này xuống này, ấn này xuống này. Đó. Rồi. Được chưa? Nhiều thế. Nè. Thao uống ly nhá. Cái ly xuống ghế ngồi đi con, xuống ghế đi. Này giỏi này. Đó. Cho ly đấy. Đây của ly đây. Từ từ đã, đúng rồi, chậm thôi.
The dad and daughter raised their glasses together, enjoying the sweet, fresh taste. It wasn't just an ordinary glass of juice, but the sweet fruit of labor, a testament to a hard and meaningful day of work by the little daughter.
Từ từ thôi. Nhớ không? Bỏ xuống đây. Đúng rồi, cho thêm nhá. Rồi, cho ly đấy. ngon quá hả? Rồi bỏ xuống. Giỏi. Hết rồi hả? Hết rồi nè, thấy không? Hết rồi. Chào mọi người nhé. Giỏi lắm.
In the quiet of the room, under the soft sunlight, Lily was transforming into a true student. But that concentration was quickly broken by a rebellious rumble rumble from her empty stomach. With darting eyes, Lily began her hunt for food. Her gaze lit up when she discovered the treasure, a familiar tin of Milo powder sitting high atop the refrigerator. This challenge couldn't stop Lily. After a moment of standing on her tiptoes, climbing a nearby chair, and teetering for a few seconds, she had her prize in hand. No spoon, no cup needed. The mischievous Lily used her own finger to dip into the fragrant chocolate powder and bring it to her mouth to taste. The bittersweet flavor of melting chocolate seemed like the most wonderful reward, even though the act caused Milo powder to sprinkle down, creating a brown streak on the floor. Feeling her throat a bit dry from the powder, Lily continued by opening the refrigerator door, grabbing a carton of cool milk, and taking a long, refreshing gulp, thus concluding her spontaneous hunger-quenching episode. Just a little carelessness while enjoying the milk, and a white puddle spread across the clean floor. However, instead of panicking or ignoring it, Lily showed a surprising quality. Her eyes showed clear determination. Without a moment's hesitation, Lily ran to get a paper towel, returned, and carefully blotted up every bit. Wiping back and forth until the floor was perfectly dry and spotless. Not stopping there, she also wiped down her entire desk, tidying up her things neatly. Hey! Finally, she took the empty milk carton, walked decisively to the trash can, and threw it in. The entire process, from making a mistake to taking responsibility and proactively cleaning up, painted a picture of a remarkably neat and conscious little monkey. After finishing her housework, Lily embarked on another important mission. She went into the kitchen, where a basket of lush, fresh green beans lay. Lily sat down in a corner and, with incredible meticulousness and patience, began to prepare them. Each bean was picked up, and its ends were snapped off with a crisp crack. At that moment, Lily looked no different from a professional chef preparing ingredients for a fine dish. When the basket of beans was ready, with a look of immense pride, Lily put on a wide-brimmed hat like a true farmer and carried the basket out to the garden. There, her dear goat friend was already waiting. Seeing Lily and the gift in her hands, the goat wagged its tail joyfully, came closer, and began to enjoy the delicious meal. Such a beautiful day couldn't be spent just lingering in the garden. Full of excitement, Lily decided to treat herself and her goat friend to a little adventure. She skillfully untied the rope holding the goat, and then the two of them trotted off together, venturing further to explore fields of fresh green grass.
Lily. Ủa? Lily đâu ta? Lily. Lily.
Meanwhile, back at home, Dad noticed his little daughter's absence. His heart sank. He ran through every nook and cranny of the house and garden, his calls of Lily growing hoarser and more desperate.
Lily đâu ta?
He was sick with worry, not seeing a trace of the two of them.
Lily đâu rồi? Lily.
After a frantic search, Dad finally found them. Under the cool shade of a tree, a peaceful scene unfolded.
Lily.
Lily was fast
Lily.
asleep under the green canopy.
Lily. Dậy về thôi. Lily. Lily. Ngủ rồi. Lily. Lily. Lily.
Dad let out a sigh of
Nè.
relief, his panicked eyes now filled with affection. He gently woke his daughter, led them both back to the pen.
Đi về nhé. Tôi nói về. Đi về ha. Đi về mà. Đi đi. Về ha. Đi nào. Vào đây coi. Nè.
Before heading inside to rest, little Lily didn't forget her duty, placing a large armful of grass into her friend's feeding trough. The fun-filled romp in the sun, however, had its consequences. That evening, Lily's body was burning up, her eyes were drowsy, she had a fever and was exhausted, curled up in her little bed.
Sao làm đấy con? Sao làm đấy? Sao đấy? Sao lạnh rồi? Sao tay lạnh thế?
Seeing his daughter sick, Dad's heart ached with pity.
Không tốt rồi con. Làm sao đấy? Tay lạnh thế đi. Ôi trời. Hình như ốm đúng không? Ai bảo tắm lạnh chi? Nước ở đấy bà để làm thôi chứ đã tắm rồi đâu. Nghe đi, hả? Đừng có tắm nhé. Là tắm bảo lên nấu nước nóng có tắm hay chưa? Trời lạnh nhá, chứ tắm ở đây đâu nhá. Nước ở đây để làm thì thôi nhá. Được chưa?
Without a moment's delay, he rushed to the market, choosing the freshest ingredients.
con bỏ vô đó đi con trồng trồng bắt tập ô đó kìa cô kìa kìa con chưa mua con đỡ đi mày quá cô đó còn lấy trong đây còn ô mà tao nó lố thì lố còn cái người xích con đúng rồi cầm cái này không cái nào có cầm mà ô nó không cầm ô nó bóng bó đó con không tốn không kêu rồi cuối chơi con dạ con đó.
Soon the kitchen was filled with the fragrant aroma of porridge. Dad had been busy simmering a pot of nutritious carrot porridge. He carefully ladled it into a bowl.
Đây đây. Đi nhá, đi nhá.
Blew on each spoonful to cool it down, and patiently fed Lily, coaxing her with a warm, deep voice.
Đúng rồi đấy, ngon không? Ngon đúng không? Đấy, bà bảo rồi mà, ăn ngon mà đúng không? Cháo nó ngon lắm đi nhá. Thử ăn thôi nhá. Đúng rồi. Đó, thấy chưa? Khỏe thôi nhé, ăn về là sớm khỏe nhé. Ngon quá. Rồi con ngồi dậy đi, con ngồi dậy đi, ngồi dậy, ngồi dậy, ngồi dậy. Đúng rồi, ngồi yên đặt, ngồi yên, đúng rồi. Đúng rồi. Để đây nhá. Ngồi nặng, ngồi nặng, đúng rồi. Lau sạch nhé, rồi con nằm xuống đi. Nằm nghỉ nhé, chưa? Tí nữa tiếp nhé.
After she finished eating, Dad carefully mixed the bitter medicine, comforting her as she drank it. All of this meticulous care stemmed from the boundless love Dad had for his little daughter.
Đây là mật ong ha. Được không?